It's Craig Goodwin. It's Craig Goodwin who scored. I can't believe it. We've actually got it 1-0.
The World Cup champions, France, got themselves off to a flying start with a demolition job of the Socceroos. Can, of course, they be the real bloody deal? We're going to take a look at that and more and eight. That's right, folks. Balance Game, and of course, a review of the group action over in Group D, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new where you've been, smash your subscribe button, bang it. All things Group D related, Papa Rose related, world football related. We got it all here, boys. Under one roof ski, France stepped up to the plate despite trailing against Australia to take all 3 points to get their World Cup campaign off to a flying start, maybe even eliminating the World Cup jinx, of course. Meanwhile, Tunisia and the Danes do have to a feisty 0-0 draw. We'll elaborate all on that in a second. Of course, people shout out to my VIPs. They are the patrons, of course. But anyway, if you're new, check out the links down below. Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, all that kind of stuff. But anyway, let's recap the results, of course, over in Group D, starting with the ball draw. In fact, it wasn't a ball draw. It was an entertaining draw. The Danes, 61% possession in favour of 39% in favour, possession for Tunisia. 11 shots for the Danes, 13 for Tunisia, who were absolutely fantastic in that 0-0 draw, and a little bit hard done by not to get the for all 3 points. So it'll be take two really for Tunisia, and hopefully they can pick up a result against either Australia or France as well to maybe prolong their World Cup. Again, another team like Saudi Arabia in Group C that a lot of people were unfancied with, but the turnout and the fans in the crowds here in Qatar were very, very vocal for Tunisia, and that was the 12th man, really. It was. I know we say that a lot about the 12th man, but it was a monstrous plus point for Tunisia in this cup match against Denmark. 11 shots, like I said, for Denmark, 13 for the Tunisians. We have corners 11-9 as well, free kicks 9 apiece. But of course, yeah, very, very good chances for Tunisia to take all 3 points. But unfortunately, they'll have to do it again. As for the Danes, of course, a lot of people's second club or second team in this World Cup, of course, mainly because of the Ericsson scenario, but also how they've handled the political and the controversial talking points about this World Cup with their jerseys and everything they've done so far. So I think they lacked a lot of firepower today up top, and they were relying on Dolberg and Skoff, Olsen, and it just didn't work out for them. And hopefully they'll learn from their mistakes, because they've got some monsters games coming up here with Australia and, of course, France in the wings. Take a look at the lineup then. Of course, it is Denmark first and foremost, with Schmeichel between sticks. We have Joachim Andersen, Simon Kjaer, and Andreas Christensen as well. Into midfield, we have Thomas Delaney, 31 years of age now. Holsberg as well, 27 years of age from Spurs. Rasmus Christensen and Joachim Mæhle, with Christian Eriksen supporting Skoff Olsen, valued at 20 million from Bruges, and Kasper Dolberg valued 12 million for Sevilla. How about that? Let's take a look at, of course, the substitutions. We saw Mathias Jensen coming on from Brentford, also Jesper Lindstrøm, Michael Damsgaard, and of course Andres Cornelius now on the books at Copenhagen. Let's take a look at, of course, the opposition then. It was Tunisia with Darman between the sticks, Taibi, Maraya, Bron. And the back three there was Shaqiri, Landuni, of course, was phenomenal. Dreger as well. They all were like man of the matches. Myself, Abdi, Silamine. Wasn't he on the books of Leicester? No, it wasn't that one, was it? Masaki and Jabali up top, valued at 34.95 million euros. As for the substitutions, we saw Kesheda, Sassi coming on there, Hannibal Melsbury, valued at 6 million on the books of Birmingham, and Nam City, the left winger. Not sure where he's playing his football, and of course Yasin Kirsini as well. But of course, take a look at the match ratings. The man of the match for the Dane point of view, 7.4 for Kasper Schmeichel, 7.8 for Andreas Christensen at the back. As for the opposition, though, 8 for Amendaman at the back. Who else there was phenomenal? Yusuf Mankini with a 7.6. I favoured the Tunisians on this one. They were that good, and of course from the moment go as well. They were on the hockey, and of course this is where the events took place. A few cars dotted around, but ultimately not much going on. Anyway, let's take a look at the heat maps. This is the Danes. A lot of blades of grass covered. A lot of it in the defensive third. As for Tunisia, the goalkeeper was very, very active and deserves the man of the match in my eyes. Of course. Before we wrap it up and take a look at the table, of course we're going to check back with Tunisian and Denmark supporters for their thoughts and wisdom about this game and their hopes and dreams moving forward.
Hello. So I'm very happy for the Tunisian team. We really did a great match against a very strong team. Denmark was very organized, very strong. The players very athletics, very technique. But Tunisia knew how to deal with that, and they was also very organized. And we even had a lot of occasion to score, but we didn't have the luck to do it. But I think Tunisia could even win this match. So I think Msekni did a very great, an excellent match. Aidoudi, especially in the middle field, he was really excellent, very aggressive. He was like a fighter. He was the heart of the team, and the goalkeeper did a great job too. Denmark wasn't really in his great and conditions, and I think they was not 100%. Maybe because of the crowd, maybe because it's in Qatar and many Tunisians are there, so the supporters was always supporting Tunisia from the beginning to the end. And I think that we deserve this draw, and we even deserve better than that. We hope that in the next match we do a better job against Australia, and of course especially against France, which is the best team, I think. And I hope that we do something better. So good luck for Tunisia and hard luck for the Denmark. Thank you very much.
Disappointing results, 0-0 against Tunisia. Denmark way too nervous. Credit to Tunisia. Played offensive, aggressive, and that's the way to play it if you want to have a chance. Two great chances for both Denmark and Tunisia. Great save from Kasper Schmeichel, world class. That could have made the difference if that was went to go. But all in all, 0-0. The tournament is in progress. Next up, France on Saturday. Let's hope we can play better, because today's display was very poor and not acceptable. Yeah, that must be the conclusion. Not acceptable at any circumstances. So, yeah, that's the way it is.
Also in Group D, it was the Frenchies, the World Cup winners, up against Australia. A big 4-1 win it was for the French. Fantastic stuff, but they were trailing at one point. Craig Goodwin with the early goal on the 9th minute to give Australia hope and maybe a dreams of maybe doing creating a bit of a World Cup jinx again. But unfortunately for them, and of course fortunately for the watching world, the real French stowed up. Adrien Robert with a 27th minute equaliser before Oliver Giroud got his first of 2 goals in the first half to make it 2-1 at half time. Into the second half, Kylian Mbappe wanted a bit of the action, and he got a bit of the action, goal as well, and assist as he set up Giroud with his second and France's 4th. It was game over. 23 shots on the day, 63% possession for the French, 37% possession for Australia, just 4 shots for them. It was more try to salvage what they had at that one point, and of course it could have been much more than this as well. 8 corners, 11 free kicks. Matey boy Lloris had nothing to do, to be honest with you, except for pick the ball out of the net once early doors. So to remind ourselves of the 11 then for the French, of course, with a whopping €524 million value. Lloris between the sticks, 35 years of age, £7 million rated. Upamecano at the back on the books, of course, at Bayern, £50 million rated. Konate as well on the books of Liverpool. Hernandez on the left hand side, Pavard on the right. Tchouameni, £80 million rated on the books of Real Madrid. Rabot as well, 27 years of age, of course, with Griezmann supporting them as well. But Mbappe on the left hand side, Dembele on the right, Giroud down the middle. He might be 36, but he knows where the back of the net is. As for the substitutions, we did see Jules Koundé coming on there, also on the books of Barcelona. Theo Hernandez replacing his brother, who did pick up an injury. Fofana as well on the books of Monaco, with Kingsley Coman and Marcus Thuram coming on the books of Mönchengladbach, of course. As for the Aussies, valued at just £22 million, of course, with Matt Ryan between sticks on the books at Copenhagen these days. Kai Rolls at the back there from Hearts. Harry Suter on the books at Stoke. Bezic on the left-hand side from Dundee United. Atkinson on the right-hand side from Hearts as well. Aaron Moy now playing his football over in Scotland with Celtic. He's half Dutch, did you know? Aurelio McCree on the books of Middlesbrough. Jackson Irvine playing in St. Pauli. That's in the Bundesliga 2 or SMY. Craig Godwin on the left-hand side got the goal. Playing out in... Dutchlands, maybe? I don't know. Matthew Leckie as well. Don't know where he's playing. And Mitchell Duke. I think they must be playing in the A-League. Substitutions coming on. Of course, we did see Marigos Dejnic at the back there, £2 million rated. We saw Kinu Bakas. We saw Abu Maget Mawel, of course, 27 years of age. And, of course, the young guy, Karangul. And Sockboy did come on there, 27 years of age, playing over in the A-League as well. Take a look at, of course, the man of the match goes in favour of... Mbappe with 7.5. I think it's a bit hard done by Griezmann with an 8.8. I think he gets the nod here. As for Australia, Carl Niles with a 7.0. Yeah, Matt Ryan with a 5.9. And a stinker at the back. This is when all the events took place. 3 goals in the first half, and we had 2 goals in the second half. Lots of substitutions, a lot of injury time, all that kind of jazz. The heat maps, the French all over the place, and as you can see, the possession was in the middle third here. Not the defensive third, which we see quite common, and of course a lot of possession in Australia's box here. Look at this one for Australia, barren. It's like nothing, it's like a desert. Up top here, and of course preferring the left hand side to the right, but of course we had a chance to catch with at least an Australian fan about this game. The hopes and dreams might be quashed, but you played the best, now you've got to play the rest, and hopefully you'll bounce back in quick time as well.
Just coming from my mate's place, where we got up at 5 a.m. to watch the game, and it started amazingly. That Goodwin goal is probably... I now know how England feel with the Kieran Trippier free kick in the semi-final last World Cup, because that start was amazing. But then from there, we just couldn't hang on, and France are incredible. As like Mbappe is just impossible to deal with. Giroud is an incredible goal scorer. 4-1 is very reflective of the game. I'd have to say I was really impressed with our left back Aziz Bayic, who kept Dembele and Koeman quiet, got a clearance off the line, was really good working up into play. Fantastic for Craig Goodwin to get a goal. He's the captain of Adelaide United. He's a left winger. He hit one of the penalties to get us into the World Cup, and it's only his second international goal, but it's just great to have him on the score sheet for that. Best France player, Rabiot was fantastic. Rabiot was really, really good in midfield. There's not really... I was hoping for a tighter game, because that goal difference is going to hurt us going forward, but, you just got to give credit to the boys. We got in front, we tried, we just could not hang on to the game at all. So, yeah, bring on Tunisia.
So let's wrap it all up then over in Group D. Of course, so far so good for France. Perfect start. As for the Tunisia and Denmark, they are, of course, unbeaten, but, of course, not the perfect start for them heading into match day 2. Tunisia will take on Australia in, of course, a must-win game for Australia, or at least must-not-lose game for Australia. And then France take on Denmark, who they've not really had a good success rate of late. Which team will actually show up? The good Denmark or the shady Denmark? We'll have to wait and see. And, of course, then we'll look forward to match number 3 when it comes back around. But so far, so good for them, and so far, so good for you guys. Of course, I do appreciate you loving on the channel, and I do appreciate your support as well. So make sure you stop by a watch along, smash the old thumbs up on this video, smash the old subscribe as well. We've got non-stop content all the way through to the final, and hopefully you'll be there with me all the way to the better end. But until then, we're done.